This is the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast for entrepreneurs and business owners looking for cool online tools, apps and strategies to make business easy online. My name is Nick Cree and I'm your host. Each episode features a guest expert demystifying the online universe, sharing inspirational ideas and providing tested real-world strategies to help you get the most of what's available online to grow your business today. Don't be a slave to your business, get your business working for you. Subscribe now and get some great content and ideas for you and your business today. Fabulous. All right. Well, let's bring us through to our main billing for tonight. So we've got, I can see Matt and Grant just chomping at the bit to get into this. So they have this fabulous tool called Bonjoro. Can I just see a quick show of hands? Anyone used Bonjoro before? Excellent. So a little bit. Fantastic. Excellent. Have to say I've used it before, loved it, and that was in a previous business. I don't know why I stopped using it, so I think I'm going to have to start using it again. But you used to get deals across the line for me when I followed the proposals through with a video, and I did use Bonjoro for that. So if you're not familiar with it, definitely go and check it out. And we have the two founders here of, I think I'm right there, two founders of Bonjoro. Yep, fabulous, excellent. And so these are the guys that actually made it happen. They saw a gap in the market. They've created a tool that is super easy, super helpful, and it's something that delivers something really quite unique, and that's delivering out personal messages. So I won't give you too much about their background. I will let Matt and Grant do all of that themselves. So let's put your hands together. Welcome to the stage, Matt and Grant.
Thanks all, and good evening from here in Sydney. Excuse the jumper, it's pretty chilly down this end of the world. I was just saying to Nick, I haven't even discovered insulation south of Brisbane. Now, we're going to run you through things. Before we show, Grant's going to show you a demo of a tool, but I'm going to chat you through a bit of a topic about authenticity, especially in the world of AI. So hopefully a little bit of education first, and kind of show you what we do, and then we'll walk you through how it works, and then over to you all for questions. That sounds good. So let's see. I will share out my screen, and fingers crossed, can everyone see that okay?
Looking good.
Going good.
Okay, so just going to chat through a little bit about authenticity and the power of personalization and how to stand out in the world of AI. Now, a lot of the stuff, you're going to know what I'm talking about, but I'm just going to dive deep on a couple of points as to why we do what we do. However, I like to start with a bit of a story. So, forgive me if any of you have heard this before, but I just want to chat about how we got started with Bonjoro because it's pertinent to what we're doing today. So we ran an agency. So we ran a research agency based in Sydney, clients all over the world, so New York, London, and Paris. So most of our clients were overseas. And we built a pretty good funnel for those, but the challenge of living in Australia, as much as I love it being here, is that when you're serving clients overseas, your leads coming in overnight. And so we would obviously build drip campaigns to follow up with those, but it was always quite hard to get conversions, especially given the fact that we tend to be an agency model where a face-to-face is really important. So we decided that we tried a whole bunch of things to try and make this better. And one of the things we did is we decided that every single new lead that came in, rather than sending them a drip campaign of an email, we would record a video for that lead individually and talk about what was important to them. So we built a little scraper, and I would take a ferry to work in the morning. So I'd take a ferry across Circular Quay, and then we have a list of the signups from the night before. So I'd see that John Archer signed up from Ogilvy in London. I could see that he worked with the Diageo brand. And so I would pull out my phone, stand at the front of the ferry, while everyone watching me, and I would do a video for John Archer. And I'd say, hey John, Matt here from the Sydney office. I saw that you work with Diageo. We've worked with Pernod Ricard. We've done projects in this space and this space. As you can see, we're not in London. We're in Australia. However, I am in London in 4 weeks' time. We'd love to come in and show you and the team what we do. And then we then edit that video, put it into an email, and send it out. It was a long, laborious process. But when we started sending these, despite the labor, we tripled our response rate straight away. And the response rate generally was, I can't really understand what you're saying because it's too windy, but I heard you mention Diageo, and this is pretty funny. It's like, well, when you're in London, do come in and see us, right? And then something else happened is that we would then go in to see these clients, and I walk in the office and everyone would go, you're the boat guy. And everyone was like, stand around and look at me. And so it made a really warm entry point into those pitches. And as a result, we converted a lot more work on the back of it, and that business grew 3 times faster from the day we started doing that. And it's all because of this first impression piece that we did. Now, inevitably, one of those clients asked how we sent this video off to them, and we told them that we had a product that did it. We didn't, so we came back and made one that weekend and put them on it. And then we shared this out. So what we did is we built a product so that other people could send video messages to leads coming into their funnels and to do the same thing that we had done and engage those. And it turns out it worked for all of them as well, if not better than what it did for us. And over the years, we worked with people like Pat Flynn, like big influencers. We've worked with massive companies like ConvertKit, Sam Cart, and across the board, customers are blown away when people send these videos through as a first point of contact. And the point here is these are not edited videos. This is all you guys right here in your offices, just taking the time for the customer. And it's not even the video that matters. It's the fact that you're putting in time to a lead and you're looking at them and saying, hey John, hey Joanne, I saw you signed up, or I saw you got your referral from XYZ. Just taking that time when you have a funnel really makes a difference, and that's what matters. And that's what cuts through. And love him or hate him, Gary Vee, I think, really nails this with what he calls the Ricky Henderson Effect. This is what he calls it. So he tells a story of how when he was 8 years old, he went to a baseball game. I know nothing about baseball, but I know this guy's name now. And there's a chap called Ricky Henderson, and as he's leaving the stadium, 8-year-old Gary Vee kind of like shouts him and kind of waves towards him. This guy, as he's leaving the stadium, stops, looks at Gary, gives him a massive wave and a smile, and then heads off out the stadium. Now, it's an interaction that takes about 3 seconds, but as a result, Gary was a super fan from then and for the rest of his life. So after that moment, which this guy probably does 100 times, a game or a year, right, to every kid that he sees, Gary went out and bought every single piece of merchandise that this guy had. He then has obviously got very, very famous and keeps talking about Ricky Henderson's. Now everyone in the world knows who this obscure baseball player is, just because he stopped and took time to welcome this kid. And what he says is, like, taking a moment to acknowledge another human being has dramatically more ROI than any internet or today any AI expert understands. And it's because human characteristics matter. If someone takes time to acknowledge you, you're more inclined to agree with that person, believe what they're saying, and more importantly, you're more likely to buy whatever she's selling. And this is one of the key points: is that AI is an amazing tool, but we are humans. We evolved in social areas, and so social interaction will always be core to how we do business in some kind of context. And I always say, if you want to see this firsthand, go out and get your coffee in the morning. I have a machine upstairs, makes a great coffee. I'm pretty sure the next one I buy will make the perfect coffee because they're getting better and better. It'll all be automated. And yet, when I'm heading to the office, I will not get a takeoff from my machine. I'll go into the barista next door, because while I'm getting my coffee, I'll have a little chat to John behind the counter, who knows my order, knows all about me. We have a little chat in the morning. I chat to a few of the waitresses. And you know what? It just gets me ready for that day. That little bit of social interaction, because you kind of crave that, especially working online. So although your coffee shops are automated the hell behind the scenes, that bit of personalization is why we keep going back. And if they get replaced by robots, I can't see myself going there. So that's why it matters. Now, before jumping more into just kind of like where AI sits, I just want to dive deeper on one more topic, because this is what the personalization really helps to unlock. And this is this customer journey. And you need to understand that I don't think active customers are good enough anymore, or I don't think they ever were. What I mean is, you have leads coming into your funnel. An active customer is somebody who pays you $1, pays you $1,000. Once they paid you, most people go back to converting more leads. But the reality is, where the real money is to be made is taking that customer to not just be a paying customer, but to be a promoter, or what we call a super fan. And you don't need to worry too much about this table. I can send it through afterwards. But essentially, what we want to do is turn customers into super fans, because if they're a super fan, they will stay 5 times longer than your average customer. They will spend 5 times more with you. They will help you co-create content. They will help you give you feedback on the business, and they will refer in other customers actively. And I'm sure you all have a couple of these customers. But what we want to do with personalization is we want to try and turn more leads into active customers and then turn those into superfans. They become this amazing revenue source for us. And I'll just like chat you why superfans are so important, even beyond just the revenue they bring, is this piece of all about referrals. So again, I'll just kind of gloss over this, but if you've all heard of NPS, NPS is basically a score of a customer's willingness to recommend your product. Again, love it or hate it, it's the score that does that. So if somebody has a 50 NPS score, and you should be measuring your NPS from your customers, even if you're only a small consultancy, that means that half your customers would be willing to recommend you. Now, they don't all do that, as we know, because circumstance doesn't provide it. But if a third of those customers who said they would recommend you do, then for every one customer you get, you're going to get another 17.5, 20% leads. And referred customers are the best customers because they will convert higher, they will pay more, and they will stay longer. Now, if you can generate what we call super fans, these ones that obsess about you and engage with you, on average, they generate 11 or more leads per fan, and some will bring you hundreds and thousands. So if you can get customers to really engage with you, which can only happen with a bit of personalization and some human contact, it starts to hit the bottom line pretty quickly. And we know this at Bonjoro, we grow 50% of our revenue that we can directly attribute has come to referrals over the years. So we've grown at twice the rate we would have done without really doubling down on this part. Okay, so how do you create superfans in a world of AI? Look, just like online advertising, everyone's kind of getting a bit of a banner blindness already towards, I guess, kind of personalization hacks in AI. All these personalized emails that we get that just aren't personalized. Yeah, what's kind of weird is that at the same time, there's this other thing happening where recent research shows that 80% of customers are saying they want more human interaction from brands, not less. What I think is happening here is that with the kind of, I guess, fake personalization of AI, we're actually losing touch with people, and people are becoming more isolated, and so they're starting to crave connection with humans again. So I actually think, conversely, this is a great time to re-engage with customers. I think we're going to see a shift where we already engage at a very low level with a lot of brands out there, a lot of products. Like, we'll go and try 5 products a day, how it is. But we'll be looking for a few brands to go deep on and build meaningful relationships with. And people are looking for this. When you connect with the person now, it's a bit more like generally we all used to go to like events in the city and head out and do all that, and that doesn't happen so much anymore. So when you really find someone you like, you want to stick with them and work with them. And so the key here is knowing when to use AI and automation to make sure that you're the brand or the person, the business that's in that spot for people looking for that connection. So again, it's an opportunity more than anything. And you mentioned earlier, Nick, the amount of touch points it takes to generate a customer. Again, whatever the stats are, 7, 20, it takes a bunch of touch points to get a lead to be a customer. It takes as many touch points to get them to be a super fan as well. And you've got all your common strategies that sit in here. So your social, your marketing campaigns, email campaigns, this is all really important. And what AI does an amazing job of is helping you make that more efficient and help you make it more targeted. So do keep using it. But then what you need to do on top of this is you need to remember that you've got to inject some points of personalization. Now with Bonjoro, we offer this piece of video. And what we've worked out is that if you do a 30-second video to a customer, it has we think around about 90% of the impact of doing a half-an-hour call with them. So the ridiculous thing here is you do not need to spend half an hour with somebody. You can spend a much shorter time and get just as much emotional leverage and get to know that customer and get some of these jumping points early on. So if you have leads coming in, you have a bunch of them, if you can do quick pieces of personal content, it's very time efficient, but it'll have a great impact for you. And it'll help you hopefully skip some of these steps that lower impact comms will have. So you can jump a customer from a lead into being an active customer or into being a super fan quite quickly if they engage with you. And again, AI has a part to play. So what AI does here, because not all leads, not all customers are equal, is it can help us identify who we should be spending our time with based on matching to existing customers and our existing funnel, our existing like super fans. It can look at that and say, hey, this looks like they could be a super fan. You need to put more time here. And it'll help you decide when and where to engage with those customers. So again, AI plays in personalization. It just helps it makes it more efficient. Oh, and then every now and again, you should still get on a plane. Like, no matter what you do, like there comes a point when you should share bread, share coffee, and go and see your customers. We still do today. So I'll hand over to Grant in a minute to do a bit of a demo, but essentially this is how we built Bonjoro, that it does plug into all of your systems. So yes, it does work with high level as of about 2 weeks ago. And we already have a bunch of high level customers on it. So we basically sit as a layer that sits on top of any other tool you use. And what it'll do is it will surface customers to you to send videos to. We'll also give you information about that customer so you can personalize that content. By using our desktop or mobile apps, you can do really quick pieces of content that are personal and then go back to your work. So again, these are where we come into play, is we're a touch point, but we're a personal touch point. We make it very, very easy for you to do. And the results matter, right? In terms of open rates, messaging being sent out, we still tend to sit near the top of this. So average of 72% open rates on all the messages that get sent out from the platform. So it is pretty powerful. And that's across about 50,000 users sending hundreds of thousands of messages. So that's a bit of an intro on why it's important. Again, Grant will show you the exactly how to do this. But look, I think here's the thing: don't get scared. Don't think AI is going to remove human connection, because I can tell you right now, it just isn't. It's going to make it more important. Okay. But you just need to make sure that you're one of the people that cuts through, because there's going to be a lot of rubbish out there. And like we say at Bonjoro, like the whole point, the way to do this is to automate the processes, automate all the back end, but don't automate the relationships. They will matter as much tomorrow as they ever have done. And like, if that's the only thing you remember from this presentation, that's never going to change, because we're all human. So I'll pause there. I'll let Grant show you how it all works, and then any questions, over to you all.
Okay, lovely. Thank you, Matt. So I'm just going to pull this up here and remember to share sound. Okay, there we go. So we're going to use our account as an example here, and I'm going to take you through the sort of the high-level workflow that Bonjoro facilitates. I'm not going to get too lost in the weeds, because hopefully if you sign up for an account, if you're interested with it, you'll get a welcome message from us. It's part of our workflow, and there'll be a link there to book a call to go through strategy, go through your setup, so we make sure that we help you get the best results from the start. So, Matt mentioned key touch points. For us, we integrate with Intercom, that's our CRM, and also Stripe to pull people in when they sign up for an account or when they make a purchase. And so for people who sign up, you can see them labeled here on the task list. They get added onto a task list. You'll get a notification on the phone, or we get a notification on our phone or an email saying, hey, this person signed up, send them a message. We take 30 seconds, 40 seconds, a minute to send that personalized welcome message to them, and try to get them on a call to make sure that they get the best results. And it's similar for a person who's made a purchase. We want to thank them, make them feel appreciated, get them on a call, so we get them great results from the start and they stay with us for longer. So that's sort of the philosophy. I'm going to show you a quick example now from one of our users who is the CEO of one of the bigger financial advisory firms in Sydney. And this is a message that he sent to a partner who'd sent a referral, just to show you how powerful video can be to give you a window into a company and the culture and what these people are like. So just let me know if the sound doesn't play, but it should be set.
Hi, Jacob, it's Roxy. Oh. Have you got that on video? What are the fucking chances? What are the fucking chances? Anyway, get on it. Thanks for the referral. I'll pass it on to Paulie. We'll look after your clients really well, and have a great day.
So it's that kind of real, authentic content that's really going to show somebody what you're about, who you like, and hopefully, as Matt's mentioned, like build up that leverage that gets them to do the next thing in your lead flow or your customer journey, or your customer's customer journey, right? Depending on how you're using it. So once we've got the integration set up and we're pulling people into the task list every day, we record the videos. There's a couple of features that allow you to customize the look and feel of them. Message templates are a big one. I'll show you some examples in a second, but yeah, set up a message template for your use cases. And then you can record the videos using our desktop. Yeah, let me do this. Let me just load this one up again. Using our desktop recorder. So basically, it's all set up here. You can also use our mobile app. The app has some benefits over it in that you can do it anywhere out and about. You get a notification while you're getting your coffee. You can send a quick message, takes 30 seconds, move on with your day. Find good lighting, find interesting backgrounds, do it when you're going for a walk, that kind of thing. But yes, the idea is I would record the message for this person. We can see here on the right-hand side as well, there's a bunch of information that's pulled in from our CRM, from Intercom. So I can see that she signed up from Memphis. She wants to use Bonjoro to convert leads. She's already sent a Bonjoro, which is great, but she hasn't installed the app or set up her message templates and customized her messages yet. So I can weave all of that information into the video really quickly and easily. It's all right there, unprompted. I'll run through, bang it out in about 40 seconds once you get comfortable with it, and then stop. Choose the right template to. So I've got as an example here, I've got a conversion template. It controls the branding, the messaging, the call to action, everything is set, and I just hit send. So the idea is once you've got everything set up, all of your time spent working in Bonjoro is on the personalized videos, connecting with your customers, differentiating yourself, all the good stuff, right? So I would hit send, but I'm not going to because it's an actual client in this case. And then once the messages are sent, they'll move over to your results tab, and here you can keep track of your aggregate results. So who's sent how many messages, open rates, view rates, click-through rates, replies. And then there's also the individual results here as well that you can keep track of and click into to see who's opened, viewed, if they've replied. And we also do have replies built into the landing pages. So people can reply with a video or with text to get a conversation going after you've sent them the message as well. We do actually bump up the replies into its own category here on the left-hand side because those conversations are so important. You just want to be able to see and engage with them, immediately once you do start getting people responding to. So that's the core workflow of Bonjoro is people identified, they're brought in, you record the messages, we deliver the emails for you and present the videos to you through your own email address once that's integrated up. We do have a couple of other features that allow you to send group messages. So one called roll up, so you can select a bunch of tasks on your list, roll them up, combine them, send a quick group message. Great for webinars if you've got people that you want to just send a quick reminder to ahead of time, that kind of thing. And also a share library that allows you to upload or record videos into it, share them with a simple URL. So you can embed or add videos into your email campaigns, share personalized videos through SMS or LinkedIn or other channels other than email as well. And just use Bonjoro in your comm strategy more broadly, but with a nice curated landing page and call to action to move people through onto that next step in the customer or the lead journey. Integrations, Matt mentioned, I've talked about as well, including Go High Level, but we've got a range of direct integrations that we can use to pull people into Bonjoro from. Go High Level we added a couple of weeks ago, and then we can add thousands more through Zapier as well. So if you don't see your one on the list here when you're setting it up, Zapier's there as a fallback, and we're going to add Make and potentially Pabbly as well. So that's the core workflow. As I mentioned up the front, if you do sign up and create an account, grab a call. I'll take you through everything down to the finest grit to get it all set up perfectly. And once you've and presumably if you do have some fans, you've got some great happy customers already. We also provide a second tool, a second product, which is a testimonial product. Oh, actually, I forgot to show you what the message templates look like. So these are just some examples from real clients in terms of how they present their videos. You can control the branding, the coloring, keep everything in your style guide, put up background images that are pertinent. So this is Camp Champions. You can see the brand. They've got the picture of the entrance to the camp, everything all customized and ready to go. So it really just depends on your use case, how far you want to go. This is Tyler over in Canada, doing thank you video messages from inside his dispatch center. So it gives you a window into the business. Provides that bit of connection in what is otherwise like a very online experience buying something from an e-commerce store. So quickly just switching over to the testimonials. So our testimonial tool is so once you've got loyal customers, is a way to collect video and written testimonials from them. So you can leverage that relationship to get some great social proof from them directly using our collection tool. And that's a question and answer format survey tool, essentially. you can curate and manage the social proof once it's uploaded. You can also add your own. So if you've got other testimonials in other formats, written, video, social posts, for example, you can add them and upload them in manually as well. And then choose the best ones and then embed them on your website using our iframes. So I'll show you a couple of examples here. This is the lead gen lab. So they've used our tool to collect a whole bunch of video and written testimonials. And then this is our iframe that's uploaded and is displaying them on their site so that their own traffic has access to this. Hopefully bumps up, your lead and your conversion rate. So, you use that loyalty to help grow your business directly, essentially. Here's just another example, which is ours. That's on our main website. Again, there's a couple of features in these embeds that lead gen lab isn't using, like being able to call out quotes as well. So we do also have another embeddable type, which is a carousel. It allows you to have a fixed height and just rotating set of testimonials that you can use as well if you've got less real estate than on your website than the wall of love would take up otherwise. So that's pretty much it in terms of the high level approach to how we do things. If anybody has any questions, please let us know. Happy to couch them. And as I said, if you're interested in either of them, create an account or get on a call and set everything up top to bottom.
Just a quick question about the testimonials there. Do all of the testimonials need to be captured in Bonjoro, or does it also pull in testimonials from other review sites?
So we don't have any direct link integrations to pull in bulk testimonials from, say, Product Review or Google at this point, but you can pick good ones and add them in manually. So you can, even if it's just written, testimonials, there's a feature or a function in the manage section where you can pop it in, add the profile information about the person as well, and an image, a profile image as well. So you can build and transfer over the select testimonials that you want to use. 100%. We do have a direct connection to YouTube. So if you've already got video content that you're using for social proof there, you can just pop those links in and it'll port the videos in directly in from YouTube.
Excellent. Actually, I do recall, I'm pretty sure I've integrated this into a couple of client sites before. I was just looking at the testimonial side of things, and I've been in the platform for that, and it is really good.
It's always good feedback to get.
It's super easy to use, and be able to sort of pick and choose the testimonials to display on different pages on the website, so they're actually relevant for the particular page, and then also the wall of testimonials as well.
Yeah, exactly. Create multiple. Yeah, sorry, Matt.
I'd say it's very much a customer built feature. So because they were generating all this loyalty off their own customers, again with Love Back, they were like, well, how do we use this further? So how do we get those superfans to help us get more leads in? And then we just kept getting asked if we ever did video testimonials, and if we would do it, and we'd do it, and eventually we were like, okay, fine. So and that's kind of our attitude, right? So if you're using this and you uncover some gold, or you want to do something more, like especially all of you, because you're Australia based or ANZ based, right? We're gonna listen harder. Just hit us up, let us know some ideas. We build as we go.
Excellent. If anyone's got any questions at all, just best thing to do, pop up your hand. So just click that raised hand icon, because that's the easiest way for us to see it, or drop it into chat. If you don't want to hear my voice asking all of these questions, then this is your opportunity to get your voice heard as well too. But I do have another also question, or just asking for some more context in terms of being able to develop this whole concept of superfans. So I think that, and I'll put this into context as well too. I ran a publishing business at one stage when I first came to Australia, and we used to sell these business manuals of, sort of street smart marketing, and which were basically, and we had a printing machine in the office. It was a ream of A4 paper in a ring binder with really good information. And they would sell for like $2,000 to $3,000 a piece. But we had some customers there. We would repackage up this product. It would essentially be the same product. It would have a different name on it. We'd restructured it, and these same customers would buy that product off us again. So same thing. And I know for a fact they never even read the first one, but they just loved what we produced. They just kept on buying it. But this creation of superfans, how are they distinct and different to, say, referrals, and how do you start to really develop those superfans?
Yeah, look, I think with Superfans, it's down to you and down to the customer, right? You're gonna find some people are definitely more open to this. We have discovered them over the years by generally doing more creative things with them. And what you'll find is we'll start to get a bit of relationships. Like we did a thing when we first started where we used to give out bear suits to anybody who hit, I think, like 100 videos. And then we lifted it to 1,000 videos, people started sending more. And then we found a bunch of teams that engaged with us on that. And then the ones that engaged with us, we started to do back and forth things. And then over the years, like we've had people who are like, right, I'm shutting down the business. I'm going to keep paying you guys because I just want you to make it. Like that starts to happen. I think, again, every super fan we've had a relationship with. I can't name a single one that we haven't known. There's definitely been engaged customers who are an advocate of what we do, but then we've got to know them more, and the next thing I know, they're telling everyone about us, right? Like Pat Flynn's a great example, right? Like the guy, if you've ever heard of him, he's just he's a big personality in the States. He signed up with a Gmail account. We had no idea who he was here in Australia, so we just sent him a video like we do to everyone. And this is one of the points to make, right? Is that like you never know, like even using AI to try and spot your best customers, you just never know who's going to be the one who can get you the next 10 leads because they come from anywhere. This guy signs up Gmail. We sent him a pretty funny video. He liked it. We then kind of started to like 2 days later, we suddenly started getting hundreds of signups. And I'm like, what's happening here? And then someone's like, oh, this Pat Flynn mentioned you on stage. And we're like, who is this? But then over the years, we just started to back and forth with him. We got on his podcast, he came on ours, we started a whole bunch of stuff together. But we specifically built that relationship, right? And it was a bit biased because he was a much bigger fish than we were, so we used him for that. But then we've had other ones, over the years who've sent us gifts like everything else, and it's generally where we do a bit of a relationship, right? And we like people. Like we built this company because we like chatting to people. We love SMBs. We will run SMBs before, right? Like that's who we are. So it makes sense for us. It's not a hard thing to do if you love other humans, but to get the opportunity for them to be a super fan, you want to make a great first impression and you want to show that you're open and you want to show that you're willing to take time. If you could do that, they will do a lot of the work for you. But I hope that helps.
Mm. Yeah, 100%. I don't feel under pressure at all to now sort of send this out to all of my network and talk about it from stage.
Go for it.
Yeah. So in terms of how to get started with this particular tool here, I mean, there's obviously, just a quick welcome to people when they, when they sign up to, whatever product or program that you happen to be selling in business. But are there any particular things that work really well or that you've noticed with your users that have really got some good engagement?
So start with lead conversion is just because it's the thing that we all understand here. It's the easiest place to get started. And we hopefully all have leads coming in. So that is step one. Okay. So essentially, and again, it depends on your time, right? Some people say to you, I don't have time to welcome my leads. And I go, well, should they be customers then? Like if it's 30 seconds, my advice is pick out 10, 20 leads, right? Like send them a welcome. Again, try and make a best first impression. Look, beyond that, then we start to see more complex use cases. So it depends on your industry and what you're doing, whether it's services or whether again, weirdly enough, we have a lot of product companies selling products in an industry you wouldn't think would be personalized, but that's why they stand out with it. And they put service at the forefront of what they do. And this just shows that they are putting service first, right? So in effect, it demonstrates that. So things like driving reviews, driving testimonials, checking in with lapsed customers. So, a good example is like gyms, or they'll sign up and then disappear. Trying this as another method to get back in touch with them if other things haven't worked can be effective there. Checking with clients on retainers across projects over time. Just using this as a bit of variety to your normal kind of checking emails as well. If you see something, I've seen people programming things where they will like be watching social, and if someone comments on something and they see something, then they'll kind of like match it up and they'll be like, hey, I saw this and just thought of you, right? Like those are like off the cuff messages that are actually very planned behind the scenes. And this is one thing is to remember, is that something that is delightful and unique to a customer can absolutely be a process on your side, right? They go, oh, I can't believe you sent a video through my birthday, right? It's because you have an automation built that sends you a message, sends you a task and says, it's Joanne's birthday. You do the birthday message, right? And you're a guy like, I know your guy down here used to have like a shelf full of just gifts on his business. And he would just, whenever it was someone's birthday, be like, guys, just pick one of the gifts and send it out to them. And they're always like, how did you know I like this? And he's like, because I have like 100 gifts ready to give. But they all thought it was unique, right? So I think these little stages, I mean, Grant, anything I missed on those ones, but
I mean, I think the key point there is that it's about a process, right? Like and you want to ideally, when you get started, is pick out some key points in your lead journey where you will deploy it and try it, and then do it systematically and try and keep track, if you can, through your other tools as well, what impacts that has in terms of like more bookings, you know, in terms of calls. Like, have you got more people, some more FaceTime with people? Yes, fantastic. How many more conversions did you get from that FaceTime? And then you can start to build an idea of the actual like ROI of your time as well, which is also really important, right? Because you want to spend that time, you know, building the relationships most effectively and most efficiently as well. So yeah, that think about it in terms of, yeah, that sort of before and after conversion rate at each of the steps that you tried and how much the needle was moved.
So obviously with the dashboard that you've got, it's able to track and measure exactly what's happened, who's opened it, the interactions that you've got, and presumably with the connections into the CRMs, that there is going to help with the being able to track that customer's journey.
Yeah, so with Go High Level, we're gonna add to the integration so it can put information back into GHL. So in terms of those interactions, so you can then work that down through the rest of your flows directly. But for other tools, it would be Zapier to put that information back in to say, yes, it's been opened, it's been interacted with, so that you can use that data to then, you know, determine what you do with those leads individually on your side, right? But yeah, so we do have also on our side the template, so quite useful, so you can A/B test and see what the interactions are like, yeah, from the messages that are sent, and then using different message content type or different subject lines, different approaches, so you can see what works best and test there on our side as well, because that's obviously also important. You want to see what tweaking does in terms of generating interactions. But yeah, as I say, like test.
Yeah. So controversial question though. Hey Jen. So Hey Jen is an app there that will, for those that haven't heard of it, you can upload footage of yourself and you know, audio of yourself, and you can have it create videos with and move your lips and make it look like you're talking. So why would we not use sort of like an AI tool like that, which you can just do at scale, as opposed to a tool like this where you're having to craft each individual message or each individual video?
Yeah, so first of all, I'd encourage you, try Hey Jen. Check out how your response rates and your open rates go, right, to start with. They won't come close to what we're able to achieve here. I think part of that is obviously brand recognition, right? We've been using thousands of users using Bonjoro over time. Like, we do have that recognition in terms of inboxing and things because we get the high response rates, which is what matters. Now, in terms of the video, the point here is to make it obvious that it's you. Okay, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get into an inbox and get opened, and then you're trying to get, what matters is what happens afterwards. Are they booking calls? Are they coming back? The AI pieces just don't quite get there. They're okay for maybe a very shallow touch, but look, this will get over it, but there's still some uncanny value, right? So you still know it's not real. It's just going, hey John, and then it just kind of goes, right? But what I employ you to do is to actually just go a little bit deeper, right? So if someone signs up for Memphis and they're doing X, Y, and Z, talk about what they're doing in the product. Talk about the time you went to Memphis. You know, mention things that obviously are not that, and they go, oh, wow, you read it at the time, right? That's what matters. And again, look, Bonjoro's got that recognition that people know it's a personalized piece, which the AI tools don't have to date.
Well, certainly looking at that video of that financial planner, sort of kicking that ball, yeah, that is definitely authentic.
You can't do that every time, right?
Yeah.
But if you do, if you do this enough, you will like I go hike like I hike a lot and put my kids in the backpack, and then I'll go hiking in the afternoon and do videos with my backpack. Like those get the best responses. Like they're not in the office. Like and obviously caveat, our brand supports us. Like our brand, we can do that kind of thing. If you're a financial planner, probably don't go hiking, wait till it's clients of a certain ilk. But again, the way I'm talking and what I'm doing in the Fat Man Outdoors, like they can see who I am and they want to get to know the company and the brand because it is us, right? And not just me, but the whole team will do this kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff you want to do. And it's not perfect. It's not in front of a white screen, right? It's you grabbing a coffee in the morning, being like, hey, you're running across the road with your phone, right? That's the kind of stuff that people love. The more authentic, the better.
And I think there's, to add to that, there's also a little bit of risk for HeyGen and for those types of tools. I mean, I think now, as Matt mentioned, so it's still kind of obvious now that there's some manipulation going on, and that obviously will get better. But I think from some of the research that we've looked at and some of the research that we've done directly, there's quite a strong negative reaction to the idea of that faked authenticity also to a certain extent, right? So people faking that real interaction, and the negative reaction outweighs a lot of the positives that you might get from people who don't realize what's happening. Like, look, and it will get better, I know, and they've spent tons of money and tons of time and effort trying to do this, and I think like as soon as it isn't super noticeable, it's gonna get spammed out at such a volume that it's gonna defeat its own purpose. I think it's a really interesting challenge, I think, for marketers because it's coming. But yeah, so I saw there's a note there in terms of pricing. So we'll put a link up to the pricing page so you can check it out. The pro plan is $39 essentially for the video messaging tool to get started and to play it around. That's where I'd recommend starting.
And there's a free trial to get in there and have a play and to use it, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Like I said, especially everyone here, like if you'd like some help getting yourself and just want to hop on a call, like that's all free. We're around. We look after our Aussie customers because unfortunately you are a small percentage of our user base, and it's so nice to be able to talk in the daytime rather than having to do 6 a.m. calls to Europe or like nighttime calls to the States. So we're gonna love talking to you. But we'll just walk you through it all, help you get your account set up, see if it's right for you. Look, and if it is right for you, great. If it's not right for you, that's fine, right? Like we're not here to push something that doesn't work for your business, and businesses are different. But I do implore you to like have a go at this kind of thing because it does work in the right funnels.
So there was a question in chat there. Where are the onesies? There must be a story behind these onesies.
Yeah,
because I noticed on your profile. So yeah.
Mate, I remember going back when I first met these two guys. They both walked into a big event down in Sydney with these friggin' onesies on. Like what were they, like bears or something, rather panda bears or something?
Yeah.
It was like it was hysterical. So here's these two dudes just get up on the stage, you know, acting like complete galahs. But it was memorable. So I've been a huge fan of Bonjoro for a long time. I went off it, I retired for a little while, but started stuff back in now, so I love it.
Yeah. Dale was the one with the gift shelf. Like he's the one that did that. Yeah, like I'm a brand guy, like I'm a design guy by heart. So we did this thing where I don't know how it happened. We started wearing onesies when we first did the business, and then we used to give out onesies free to people, and then it became the problem with living in Australia is that if you go to events and wear a onesie, you inevitably end up wearing them a couple of times in the summer, and it absolutely destroys you. So although it's memorable, it's not fun at all. But look, like, this is and if you want to call this, I'll chat to my brand for hours, right? I think leaving an impression is really key, and you want to build a dividing brand. I think if people don't like your brand and some will love it, that's a good thing, right? Don't have a generic brand that just sits in the middle, right? I think you want to be memorable, and sometimes doing weird stuff. I like those guys, the finance guys, right? Who do these kind of videos. Like that's the CEO. He does a lot of this kind of stuff. Like that's just him. And so people love them, and they are in a full relationship like business, right? They're financial planners. that kind of stuff comes through all the time with them, but they're still suits and ties and professional. So it's all about that balance.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent. Anyone got any questions there that they're sort of starting to ask at the moment? This is your opportunity. You've got a few minutes left. We've got any in chat now. Just check the chat. Nothing there. Jeepers, we're quiet tonight. So anyone sort of thinking about how you could possibly use this in your business, or maybe you've even got a question about how you might be able to implement this in your business. I'm just looking at some that are here. We've got people that are in property, in the online space. We've got a business consultant, or what would you call it? We call the matchmaker, sort of business matchmaker here, and also someone who's in equity finance as well. No takers. All right. Well, in terms of brand, you're gonna have to listen to me asking these questions now. In terms of branding, like I'm a strong believer that every business needs a strong personal brand of the founder of the business, and sort of now more than ever, it's the personal brand that's winning over the corporate brand. And I look at even people like, well, if we take one of the older personal brands, it's like Richard Branson, you've got Elon Musk, you've got Donald Trump, they're all personal brands. Love them or hate them, that's what really sort of rules people in. So in terms of developing personal brand, I can really see how this can really help sort of develop a personal brand. But we do have businesses that have people that are in there as, say, salespeople or account managers. So personal branding is not just about the branding of the company, but it's about the branding of the people that are working inside the company as well. Can you speak a bit more about how to develop a good, effective personal brand? Obviously, this tool will help, but your experience with that.
So I'm a big fan of company brand, like personal company brands. So like I don't want Bonjoro to always be about me or always be about Grant. But we have a great team. And this comes down to like number one thing is hiring, right? So hire, and this is the hardest thing. If you can get hiring right, you've got a business. Like that's nail that one. The rest of it takes care of itself. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do. But I think if you're hiring and you're doing interviews based on culture and values, it's really important. And your team should talk with the same language. But I think to help them, you can definitely put out, yeah, Bruce's comment. You can definitely put out, comms. You should practice comms with your team on how everyone speaks, not just how they look. Okay, so I'll put any of my team on video to any of our customers at any point in time, from juniors like an interns to like to product to the product owners, right? To my engineers, like they'll all talk. And because we have a very strong culture where we're all very open, we're all very personable, and I wouldn't hire anyone who didn't fit that. And in fact, we'll sub out videos and calls to different team members based on their strengths, but like I know they'll talk with a Bonjoro voice. The number one thing was always hiring for that, and then training and involving people in like get-togethers, so we start to share the same comms piece. I know Grant on the other side of it. Do you want to add anything to that yourself?
No, it's a hard one, right? I think the only thing I'd add is you want to allow make the right calls in terms of hiring are always really hard, but then give them the freedom to shine, right? And give yourself the freedom to shine if you're a one-man band or a smaller team, right? And build that into your business processes so that everything's not entirely structured or entirely automated. You have to give yourself those opportunities to build those relationships, let yourself come through, whether that's in meetings, events, that kind of thing. I know this is very generalized advice, but without it, it's just hard to differentiate yourself.
So that's it. Just remember that if it's all on you as the founder or as the owner, then I guess you also Tesla shares when Elon went AWOL, right? I'm not saying you're gonna get AWOL, but like I don't think I think if you're building a team, the company should rest on the team's shoulders so that so if something happens, if you go away, someone else takes something, right? You can hand off to anyone seamlessly, right? I think a good personal brand is good for building like an inbound funnel, and you could be there, for certain clients. But like, if I didn't have Grant, we wouldn't have business. If it was all me, it'd be all jazz hands, and then nothing would work, right? So you need a team behind you to do that. You need to be able to pass them off. So yeah, I love personal brand, but I think if you're building a team, make sure it's not all about you, for sure.
So in fact, the team members get the ability to shine and be the front of the business for the particular customers that they're working with as well.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Fabulous. Excellent. Bruce, thank you. We're going to use outlandishly coloured shirts as our brand, but it was taken. So yes, I've claimed that spot for about 8 years. So excellent. All right. Any other questions at all? Otherwise, best way to get in touch with you, best way to really get on board with the platform that you've got.
Just hit the Bonjoro and hit the sign up button, and yeah, you'll get a message from Matt or I, or maybe Ollie. Or if you've got any questions you want to ask us directly, it's Grant or Matt at bonjoro.com. Super easy.
Can we shoot you a Bonjoro video?
Oh, definitely, absolutely, yeah, 100%.
That'd get attention, wouldn't it? More than an email. There is a promo code in the chat as well too. So if you do want to jump onto it, it is bonjoro.com. There's a promo code for a 15% discount. So grab that code. Make sure you save the chat before we go at the end of this evening. And definitely do jump in and have a look at it. And
JM has popped in a calendar link there as well. I forgot. Yeah.
Fabulous, excellent. So if you do want to chat further, or talk about how to set it up, use case for your business, and get some advice about how to best deploy it, that Calendly link that is in chat as well too. That's very good. Sort of sticking in a Calendly. I've got a story actually. Just this week, I had someone book an appointment with me with I'm using a Go High Level link. And popped up, and I was on another appointment, and then this other one sort of just popped up while I was partway through for when it finished. I thought, who is this? Where did this come from? And it turned out to be a digital marketing firm from Bangladesh who were pitching services to optimize my YouTube channel. And I thought, where have they got this link from? And I thought, well, maybe I've just popped it in on one of these webinars. Turns out that I've deployed an AI chatbot on my website that allows people to have a conversation. And this person said, can I book a time or appointment? My AI chatbot said, yeah, no problem at all. What would you like? Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, whatever times. And so there was this interaction going back. And I only discovered this because I went into my GHL conversations and I saw that. So you do have to watch out for these chatbots or the AI tools, because you'll get drawn into conversations you might necessarily want to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. All right. Do you have suggested a length of video? So 42 seconds, is it, Matt?
That is the average of the few million videos that we have is 42 seconds. So I'm going to go with my personal base and say that's the number apparently.
A lot of large numbers, yeah.
You're not. This is not a sales call. This is a video to get across your personality and show that you care about the customer. That's what you're doing, and then you have an ask at the end. So you ask them to book on a call, look at a portfolio, whatever it is you're doing. That's the point. You're not there for a long time, just a good time.
Excellent. And so it can be a complement to your sales process as well, not the sales process in its own right.
It's not the sales process. This is the relationship bit of it.
Fabulous. Excellent. All right. Well, look, thanks, Matt and Grant, for coming along tonight. And everyone that's here, whether you are on the Facebook feed or whether you're here live or whether you're on the YouTube channel the day after this actually is aired, then definitely do jump on to bonjoro.com. There is that coupon code. We'll make sure that we pop it in the email that goes out after this. If you're on Facebook and you want the coupon code, message us in. We'll give you that coupon code as well too. But jump on, have a play, try it out. It is really good. While you were talking, I've got it on my phone, and I was just having a look through some of the conversations that I've had previously as well too. So yeah, it's a really good tool. I love it. So well worth checking it out. Now we do have I think we do have a door prize tonight, don't we, Grant? Did we talk about that? Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
So tell us what that is.
I can't remember the exact amount of discount. I think it might be 6 months free.
6 months it was, yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. There we go. Cool, great. So that's either half price on an annual or 6 months for free. So on a monthly, it's your choice. So whoever the lucky winner is gets to make the call.
Fabulous. Excellent. Anyone want a 6 months on Bonjoro? We'll only put those that have got their hands up into the draw. Excellent. All right. Well, we do have our special way of drawing it. So let's bring up the wheel of names. Don't leave now. This is the time to stay in the room. So everyone's name is in the wheel of names. You need to be in the room to draw it. All right. Let's get that wheel of names up. I'll stop talking. You can spin it, JM. Or maybe the internet's just died. We had the wheel of names up briefly. There we go. Fabulous. All right, let's spin the wheel, see who our lucky winner is tonight. And it is Paul Kennedy. Couldn't have gone to a better person. So I'm expecting a lot of videos from you, Paul, so over the next 6 months.
Are you there, Nick?
Yes.
So I'm going to do something a little bit different, if I may. I was recently fortunate enough to be the lucky winner on another occasion a few weeks ago. And look, being really honest, I probably wouldn't use this. So I would like to put it back into the group and spin it again for somebody who might be able to make better use of this than I could. So if you will allow me to do that, I'd like to do it.
Well, look, that is a very generous offer. That I don't think that's happened before. So your lucky streak is now going to benefit someone else.
No, look, that's good. If the right person can get it and I can help achieve that, that's a good thing. So pleased to do it.
Fabulous. All right. So no one leave the room because we're going to go for our second chance draw. So let's spin that wheel again. And what's the bet that, Paul, you win it again?
I was going to say, I found myself in that position once before where I was trying to reallocate the prize and I won it a second time. I just couldn't get rid of it. Anyway, not true on this occasion.
Excellent. All right, Sam, are you in the room, Sam? Oh, I'm looking through. Sam is usually here. Sam has disappeared. Well, there we go. This time here, we get a third time draw for this. So if you are hoping to win this, now is your chance.
Ball again.
Say again.
Definitely going to be ball again.
Yeah, yes. All right, let's spin it again. See if Paul is the winner again. And there it is. Round we go. So close.
God, that was close.
Yeah. Pete, are you in the room?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Fabulous. Excellent. Well, you are the lucky winner tonight. So well done. You're in finance. Is that right, Pete?
Yes, mortgage broking. Yes. Yep.
There you go.
Perfect.
Ideal.
So
Ideal.
We want a lot of mortgage brokers, so we'll be able to chat you
awesome.
that first.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
Excellent.
So sign up for an account, Pete, and I'll sort out all of the discounts and stuff on the back end.
Sure.
Of course, because you'll see his name when he signs up, won't you?
Exactly. Yeah.
I was going to say we'll introduce you by email, but there we go. We've got you've got it in the dashboard. Excellent. All right. Well, look, thanks very much for coming along tonight, Matt and Grant, and everyone else who has come to participate tonight as well too. Now's a good time to actually save the chat. So if you want the links, the discount code, all that information there, go and save the chat. And how you save the chat is the three little dots on the top right-hand side of chat. If you would like to watch it again, it'll be up on the YouTube channel, the Smash Go YouTube channel again tomorrow afternoon. If you know anyone else that would benefit from this as well too, feel free to send them through to the YouTube channel. And of course, we'll be here again next week at the same time. And our guest next week is a chap by the name of James Wellington, who runs a fintech company offering finance. So he's got a very, very interesting way of financing high-ticket items for all sorts of businesses with an incredibly fast turnaround time. and he's got an interesting way of you getting more yeses, getting more clients using some of the options he's going to talk about next week. So it's not a sales pitch next week. It is about how you create more yeses, more customers using sort of some technology that you may not have seen before. So it is I was going to say it's an app and a tool. It's not quite an app and a tool, but it is an online process and strategy. So that is our show for tonight. Thank you everyone for coming along and participating tonight. And of course, if you're wanting to have a look at Bonjoro, try it out, send me a video. I'd love to get a video from you, and I promise I will respond in kind as well. I have Bonjoro on my phone ready to go. All right, well, let's go and have a good night, and I'll see you all again next week. Thank you for tuning in and listening to the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast. You can also find me on social media and online. Just search for Business Owners Smashing It Online and Nick Cree, spelled Nickcree, all one word. If you like this and want to hear more, subscribe now. Until next time, don't be a slave to your business. Get your business working for you.